Have you ever heard of a queen so wise, so wealthy, and so powerful that her legend has echoed through millennia? A ruler whose story is woven into the sacred texts of multiple religions and the national epics of great nations. Today, we journey back in time to uncover the mesmerizing tale of Makeda, the legendary queen of a land known as Sheba. Her story is not just a myth. It's a foundational narrative for cultures in both Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, a testament to a remarkable woman who bridged two continents. Who was this enigmatic queen? Was she from the highlands of Ethiopia or the fragrant lands of Yemen? The truth is, her legacy is so vast, it belongs to both. The Kingdom of Sheba, or Saba, was a powerful trading empire that straddled the Red Sea, encompassing parts of modern-day Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Yemen. This strategic location made it the hub of the ancient world's most lucrative trade routes, dealing in gold, frankincense, myrrh, and exotic spices. Makeda reigned over this prosperous and sophisticated civilization, a beacon of power and intellect in an age dominated by kings. Our main source for her story comes from the Kebra Nagast, or the Glory of Kings, Ethiopia's sacred national epic. This ancient text doesn't just tell a story. It lays the groundwork for an entire dynasty and a nation's identity. According to the Kebra Nagast, Makeda was a brilliant and inquisitive ruler. She heard tales of a king in Jerusalem, Solomon, whose wisdom was said to be a gift from God, unparalleled in all the world. These weren't just idle rumors. They were reports from her own merchants, like the great merchant Tamrin, who had witnessed Solomon's just rule and incredible knowledge firsthand. Intrigued, Makeda felt a deep intellectual and spiritual pull. She wasn't seeking a political alliance or new trade deals. She was on a quest for knowledge, for truth. She decided she had to see this legendary wisdom for herself. So, she prepared for one of the most famous journeys in history. Imagine the sight. A massive caravan, laden with an astonishing amount of gold, precious stones, and the rarest spices of her kingdom. This wasn't just a royal visit. It was a grand expedition, a procession of wealth and power stretching for miles across the desert sands, all for the purpose of testing the mind of a king. When Makeda and her magnificent caravan finally arrived in Jerusalem, the court of King Solomon was in awe. But Makeda was not there to be impressed by riches. She was there to challenge a great mind. The Bible and the Kebra Nagast both describe how she tested Solomon with a series of hard questions and riddles. These weren't simple queries. They were complex philosophical and ethical dilemmas designed to probe the depths of his understanding. She asked about the nature of wisdom, the secrets of the universe, and the essence of righteous leadership. To her astonishment and delight, Solomon answered every single question with profound insight and clarity. There was no riddle he could not solve, no paradox he could not unravel. Makeda was utterly captivated. She declared, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe it until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told to me. In wisdom and wealth, you have far exceeded the report I heard." She recognized in him not just a clever king, but a man truly touched by the divine. Their connection deepened over the 6 months Makeda stayed in Jerusalem. It was a meeting of minds, a powerful bond between two of the ancient world's most brilliant rulers. The Kebra Nagast tells us that before she departed, Solomon, who was equally impressed by her intelligence and spirit, orchestrated a clever plan. He hosted a grand farewell banquet with spicy foods and declared that she should not take anything from his house without permission. That night, Makeda, feeling thirsty, drank from a water pitcher left by her bed. Solomon appeared, claiming she had taken his water, thus breaking her oath. From this encounter, a new chapter in history was written. When Makeda returned to her kingdom of Sheba, she was carrying Solomon's child. She gave birth to a son whom she named Menelik, which means son of the wise man. He grew up to be a strong and capable leader, embodying the intelligence of his mother and the wisdom of his father. The bond with Jerusalem, however, was not broken. When he came of age, Menelik journeyed to Jerusalem to meet the father he had never known. King Solomon was overjoyed to meet his son. He embraced him, taught him the laws and traditions of his kingdom, and showered him with honors. He even offered Menelik the throne of Israel. But Menelik's heart belonged to his homeland. His duty was to his mother and the people of Sheba. He knew he was destined to rule there. Before Menelik left, Solomon decreed that the firstborn sons of his highest nobles and priests would accompany Menelik back to Ethiopia to help establish a new kingdom modeled on the wisdom of Israel. And this is where the story takes its most legendary turn. According to the Kebra Nagast, among the young men who traveled with Menelik was Azarias, the son of the high priest of the temple. In a secret, audacious act, Azarias took the most sacred object in all of Israel, the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark, which was said to hold the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments given to Moses, was smuggled out of Jerusalem and taken on the long journey to Ethiopia. The Kebra Nagast describes how the Ark miraculously protected the caravan, and its arrival in Ethiopia was seen as a divine sign. It symbolized the transfer of God's favor from Israel to Ethiopia, marking it as the New Zion. When Menelik returned home with the Ark and the sons of Israel's nobility, Makeda joyfully abdicated her throne in his favor. Menelik I became the first emperor of Ethiopia, establishing the Solomonic dynasty. This dynasty would rule Ethiopia for nearly 3,000 years, ending only with the last emperor, Haile Selassie. In 1974, the Queen of Sheba's journey, born of a thirst for wisdom, resulted in the founding of one of the longest ruling royal lines in human history. The legacy of Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, is therefore immense and dual-sided. In Yemen, she is known as Bilqis, a powerful queen of the Sabaean kingdom, celebrated in Islamic tradition and local folklore. Archaeological finds in places like the Maram Bilqis, the temple of the moon god near Mrib, hint at the grandeur of the civilization she may have ruled. She is a symbol of Yemeni national pride, a figure of strength and sovereignty. In Ethiopia, she is Makeda, the mother of their nation. Her story is the bedrock of Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity and national identity. The Ark of the Covenant is believed to reside to this day in a chapel in Aksum, guarded by a single monk, a living link to the Queen's legendary journey. Her legacy is celebrated in art, music, and religious ceremonies across the country. So, the Queen of Sheba is not just a character in a story. She is a powerful symbol of intellectual curiosity, female leadership, and the profound connections that can form between different cultures. Her quest for wisdom built a bridge between Africa and Asia, and her legacy gave rise to a dynasty that shaped a nation for millennia. The story of Makeda reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is one of the most powerful journeys we can ever undertake, with the power to change not only our own lives, but the course of history itself. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey into the past. If you enjoyed learning about the legendary Queen of Sheba, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that connect our world. Let me know in the comments what other historical figures you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video.